Another reply video
again.
What is going on, my peoples? We got another reply video. You know, I'm having fun doing these. I really wish that YouTube would let you do direct replies to comments instead of me having to do this the way, kind of like what they do on like TikTok or something. I really wish YouTube would let you do this, but anyway, here we are. So the reason I'm making this video is I put out a reaction of the leak. I was about to say leaks. The new gameplay that got put out for Assassin's Creed Shadow, and I had a bunch of comments of people saying, "Oh, this game is trash." You also had some people, you know, not singing praises, but you know, more positive comments. But then you also had a couple people basically saying that I was shilling for the game, and you know, that how could I possibly think that the game looks good. So that's the whole point of this video. So that being said, I'm gonna go through a few, basically just go kind of in order of why I personally am excited for the game tentatively. Okay, let me make sure I preface that tentatively. I am not like, oh my god, it's gonna be amazing, it's gonna be fucking great. No, that's not my feelings. that is not my feelings about the game, but I am excited for the game. As always, like I do with all of these, I will have the timestamps at the bottom in the description and in the chapter, so you can go to the section that you want to go to, whatever. So with all that being said, let's get started. I feel like the first thing I should do is kind of go over, you know, spend a couple minutes just going over my personal history with Assassin's Creed. So I started playing Assassin's Creed with Brotherhood. I was unfortunately one of those kids whose parents, or I should say parents, my mom, would not let me play rated M games. I know, right? This was back in the day. My mom was way more strict than she is now. But Assassin's Creed Brotherhood was the first rated M game that I was allowed to play. It wasn't the first one I did play, but the first one I was allowed to play. That she got for me. She and my stepfather got for me. So that's where I was always interested in Assassin's Creed, because I had seen gameplay of the first one and the second one, but I never played them. So I played through Brotherhood, absolutely loved it, fell in love with Assassin's Creed, then proceeded to play Assassin's Creed 2, and then played Assassin's Creed 1, which is my least favorite Assassin's Creed game of all of the ones that have ever come out. I absolutely hate Assassin's Creed 1. It is boring as hell to me. The whole bureau thing, it's just, no. But it is the first game in the series, and I did start from later in the series and went back. So, I mean, that's kind of gonna happen. And then from then on, I literally bought every single Assassin's Creed game all the way up to Origins. Which Origins, I would say I really started to really fall off of loving Assassin's Creed with Syndicate, because it was the first one where it really felt like I wasn't playing an Assassin's Creed game. Now, that was the one where you had the twins, and the female twin Evie, she felt like an assassin, and she was the one I pretty much played exclusively as. And then you had Jacob, who really did not feel like an assassin. I hated playing as Jacob. Thankfully you were able to kind of switch between the two, so whenever I got the chance I always switch back to Evie. But that's kind of where I first started to fall off with Assassin's Creed. I think I only played played like 70% of Syndicate within like a month, and then stopped playing, and then maybe 2 or 3 months later I came back and finished it. That's how I was. Whereas before, back in the past, I would blitz through Assassin's Creed. The second the game came out, I was done with it in like 4 days. So then you have Origins, which again didn't feel like Assassin's Creed, but the story for Origins was so good that I enjoyed the story for Assassin's Creed Origins enough to where I played through the game. But it didn't feel like an Assassin's Creed game. I basically forced myself to go through that one. Then you got Odyssey. I did not play Odyssey. I refused to play Odyssey. I did, because that's where it was like, it was full on, this is not Assassin's Creed anymore, I'm done. Odyssey and Valhalla, neither one. I own both games. I played Odyssey for like 10 minutes and I was like, nah, I can't do it. No. So after that, I bought the collector, and see, this is where my personal anger with Ubisoft comes in. Is they got me with what was it called? What was the newest one that came out? Mirage.
They got me with Mirage when they were talking about we're going back to our roots with Assassin's Creed, everything. And that's where and again, you remember, I haven't really enjoyed an Assassin's Creed since before Origin, or really actually before Syndicate, which would have been what, like Unity? I was probably in the comments I said Assassin's Creed 4, but I think actually Unity came. Yeah, Unity came after that, so it would have been Unity. So they talk about how, you know, we're going back to our roots and everything, and I saw the gameplay. I was like, oh shit, I gotta buy this. Pre-ordered, collector's edition. I got it sitting in my my living room right now. I only did an unboxing, played the game, 2 hours, turned it off. Nope. Because it felt just like Assassin's Creed 1, which it basically, that's what they meant when they said they were going back to their roots. We're going back to their roots. I was thinking, when in my head, I was thinking they were going back to their roots more like Assassin's Creed 2 on, not Assassin's Creed 1. Now, admittedly, that's my fault. I should have, like I said, I hate Assassin's Creed 1. I absolutely hate Assassin's Creed 1. So it wasn't even in my mind to think, oh, we're talking Assassin's Creed 1 is where y'all are going to, not 2. Okay, my own personal fault. Hey, is what it is. Live, you learn. So that would be where I can't really say hatred. My personal anger with Ubisoft is, and to some people, you know, it's like, oh, well, I mean, it's just a game, you know, how could you be that angry about a game? Listen, I have one tattoo on my body right here, and it's the insignia for the Italian assassins. You know, back when with Brotherhood, that game struck a chord with me. It brought me into the Assassin's Creed world. It is the one and only tattoo I have, and I love it. That was the reason why I got that tattoo was because of my love for Assassin's Creed. I had so much Assassin's Creed stuff. I was a stan for Assassin's Creed. So that's why it was like personal for me. But obviously I'm not really in that space anymore. So that's kind of like that's my history on Assassin's Creed. So here we go, fast forward to now, where and also let me add in with which game was that? Assassin's Creed Revelations was when they introduced, not the game, but the movie that came out, which was Assassin's Creed Embers, when they introduced Xiao Yun. That was where the idea of, oh shit, they could go to Japan. And I've always been interested in Japanese culture, all that stuff. So again, it's something personal for me. I was like, oh my God, please go, just like every other Assassin's Creed fan, please go to Japan. Every fucking release, go to Japan. And what happened? First, it was like they heard us say go to Japan nonstop, and they were just like, huh, what, Japan? What's that? So so when they finally announced that Assassin's Creed Shadows would be set in Japan, oh, it felt like I was at Brotherhood again. Oh my God, I about nutted on myself. So when they announced all of that stuff, again, like I said, I was extremely happy. And then, I can't remember, I think Ghost of Tsushima came out before they announced that. I want to say, if I'm remembering right, Ghost of Tsushima came out before they announced Assassin's Creed Shadows. So I was coming off Ghost of Tsushima, which felt like an upgraded Assassin's Creed. Like, this is what stealth in Assassin's Creed should be like. Like this, or what should it be? It should be like now, is how I felt, and a lot of people felt like. So anyway, they announced Ghost of Tsushima, they announced Assassin's Creed Shadows, and then we get to and this goes into the next section of this video, YASUKE. And I was and still am one of the people that does not feel like YASUKE should be in the game. At least in the base game anyway. I did talk, one of the people that left a comment, they asked about how my feelings as a black man with the whole thing with YASUKE. Here's the thing. I feel like YASUKE should be set as either a DLC or a side game, like what they did with Assassin's Creed 4 with Freedom Cry with Adewale. They should have done that. I personally do not feel like if you're going to do a setting in Japan, if you're gonna, you could do 2 main characters, I'm fine with that. But one of them should not be it shouldn't be a black man. I'm sorry. It just shouldn't be. Like, we're in Japan. It should be a Japanese woman. If we're gonna do 2 characters, a Japanese woman and a Japanese man, or just one or the other. Now, for the people that are saying they don't want to play as a woman, and like, people are gonna feel how they feel. I get it, but personally, if they did it like that, where it was a Japanese man and a Japanese woman, I actually would have played as a Japanese woman, just because some games, I want to play as the badass woman, not the badass woman where it's like, I'm cool because I'm a woman, like, my uterus gives me power. Not that shit. You got to get out of here with that. But I do like to play as something different every once in a while, so I probably would have played as the Japanese woman. But anyway, I digress. Like I was saying with Yasuke, we already had our game, or I shouldn't, and that's kind of in quotations because we really didn't have our game. Freedom Cry, sound like Elmer Fudd. Freedom Cry was a smaller game, kind of like how, because they did that with somebody else. What was the one that was supposed to be like a prequel to Assassin's Creed 4? Yeah, Assassin's Creed 4, the one with Shay, I think is what his name was. It was like that. It was like a smaller game. So I mean, some people can make, oh, we got the smaller game and stuff. I don't really care about that. We got Freedom Cry, and then we also got what was the one with whatever the one's name with Aveline was. I forgot what the name of that one was. But anyway, we got our game, and maybe one day we'll get another one set in Africa, which would be really cool. But we're in Japan. I personally feel like, again, this is me, this is how I feel. We're doing I don't know if the word would be disservice, or you basically stole that role from the Japanese. Like, let the Japanese have their game. I don't want to boot up the Japanese Assassin's Creed and play as the 7-foot-tall black man. All right, I understand that, if we want to talk about the racial thing, fine, whatever. Look, listen, I'm playing the Japanese Assassin's Creed. I want it to fit the setting, and I understand Yasuke was in Japan. Or what? Listen, no. Make it a Japanese protagonist. That's how I feel. All right, that's how I feel. I don't want it to be the African Assassin's Creed and then have one character be Matumbu and then the other one be Shirley from England. That's not an English name, but you know what I mean. We don't need to like try to, I don't know, like make sure we check a box, make sure it's not all one race or whatever. No. If we're gonna do the African one, we need to do African man, African woman. If we're gonna do I don't fucking know, we're gonna do the Chinese game, Xiao Yun better be one of the protagonists, and then you could do another Chinese man. That's just how I personally felt about it. Now, did that aspect of the game make me not want to play it? No. I'm just like, well, I'm just not playing as Yasuke. I'm gonna play as Naoe, because that interests me more. I'm not looking to play the Japanese Assassin's Creed game as the black guy. And nobody's wrong for feeling the other way around about that. That's just how I personally feel about it. They shouldn't have made him as a central point in the thing. Now, you could have done something where maybe they did Yasuke as a important figure in the game. You could do something like that, but having him be one of the protagonists, I would rather them use somebody else in history that's Japanese that was around during that period. I don't know who, but we could have done somebody else. Doesn't even have to be a perfectly historical figure. Hell, none of them have been. So that would be my feelings on Yasuke. Now, so with all that being said, let's go to the comments and let me respond to a few of them that fit the video. Okay, so I do want to first thing I want to do is kind of do a response to this response. That's how I put main aims. I'm sorry, I know I'm mispronouncing that. But he says, with this logic, do you think that a game with Yasuke in Japan should never be made? Also, I don't think it's problem since the literal other protagonist is a native. Also, if you think that historical inaccuracy is a problem, that means that you either don't understand AC or haven't played one ever in a long time. I'm not sure if that last part he was talking to me or the person that I was talking to. So I'm gonna just speak to the part where he was talking about the other protagonist being a native. The issue, at least in this case, the issue with having one protagonist be the black guy, and it could be any, and it's not simply just because he's black. It could be white, and it could be the same issue. So I'm just saying a black guy because he just happens to be the black guy. It could be a white guy, it doesn't matter. Anyway, the issue with that is we've already seen that part of people's issues with stuff like intergalactic, sorry, and then other games with a female protagonist, there are people that feel like they do not want to play as a woman. They don't want to do it. And while it doesn't affect me, I personally don't care if I have to play as a woman. Other people don't want to play as a woman, and that's fine. It's understandable. So what you've done by putting Yasuke as the other protagonist is that anybody that doesn't want to play as a woman, now they have to play as the black guy. Or or another way, if they were like, let's say they're black or something and they don't want to play as a white guy. You basically take the male character, you basically take that choice away from them as a Japanese man. You basically just took that choice away from. Now they either have to play as the black guy who they disagree should even be in the game at all, or they have to play as the Japanese woman, which there are lots of people who don't want to do that. So that's the issue with him. That's one of the issues with him being one of the protagonists in the game if you're going to have a dual protagonist system. And I guess I will touch on the historical inaccuracy thing. And again, I don't think he was talking to me. I think he was actually talking to Sleep Waves. But the whole historical accuracy debate, I personally think, is fruitless because Assassin's Creed has never been 100% story accurate, all right? So the whole issue with Yasuke, oh, well, he wasn't a samurai, or he was a samurai, or you need to read the book, or you need to read the book, you need to look at like all of that, I think it's just a waste. It's just a waste of time. Assassin's Creed has never been historically accurate. Like, if they want to say the dude's a samurai, who fucking cares? Again, it's not gonna be. Historical inaccuracy is like a ton. There's a ton of historical inaccuracy in all of Assassin's Creed. All right, we literally got motherfucking Ezio fighting God Pope in the Vatican. like, let's be real here. And before somebody gets in the comments, yes, I know Rodrigo Borgia was a real person, but he was not in the Vatican fighting. He was not in the Vatican fighting some Italian guy for the Apple of Eden. Well, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. All right, so let's go to another one. Let's take Justin Hims 4917. He says, bro, this looks like AC3. You definitely crazy thinking this is something. First off, I'm gonna need some of y'all to go back and play. This does not look like AC3. It doesn't. But you have to understand, it's crazy to see these different moves and motions as and you have to think about it from the perspective of someone like me who hasn't played an Assassin's Creed game, hasn't played one at length since Origins. I played Mirage, but again, that was like for 2 hours. I played Origins. He didn't move. Like the only Assassin's Creed game that we had with good fluid movement was Unity. That one had fantastic movement. But even then, he didn't do some of the stuff that Naoe is doing, like flipping off walls and doing turn twists and stuff like she's in an anime. Like, to someone like me who, and this is me as a gamer, I always prefer games with fast action-based combat, not like slower plotting. It's a reason why I can't really get into Dark Souls games. I hate Dark Souls games because of the roly-poly nature of them. Like I don't like it. But Sekiro, I love Sekiro. It is my all-time #1 favorite game in history because of the combat. I love it. So when I saw Naoe's combat being more fast-paced and everything, to me, that's like comparing that to old Assassin's Creed. Oh, it's like mind-blowing. Like, oh my fucking god. I'm like your grandfather who played old Atari old Nintendo on the old Super Nintendo, playing Mario, doing the little jumps and everything, and then now he's looking at like Mario Galaxy or what was the one with the cap, Mario Odyssey, whatever the fuck that goddamn game was. You know which one I'm talking about. It's like it would blow their freaking mind. So that's why, like, to all the people that are like going to my video and they're like, you know, oh my god, like, how can you look at this? Like, you're glazing. Like, how can you believe that this looks good? That's why. It's because I haven't played at length any Assassin's Creed since Origins, and even that, I only played it because of the story. And Origins came out back in 2017, which was like 7 or 8 years ago. So yeah, for me, it's like, dude, this is fantastic. And they're going to the place that I wanted to go to. Now, am I also, let me preface all of this though. Am I saying, I did say amazing, but am I saying that the animations are absolutely perfect, 100%, like ship the game? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. It definitely does have some jank. There is some work that needs to be done. However, it looks great. It like what they've got so far looks great. I love what I'm seeing. So there is that caveat there that I'm not saying that it's 100% perfect, ship it. Not saying that. But what we have seen, at least to me, I love what I'm seeing. All right, I got one more I'm gonna check out. So this one comes from WANNAEATCOOKIES, and this one's gonna be one of the more negative ones.
Worst thing ever. The only thing that looks okay is the graphics, and that's because Unreal Engine 5 is a thing. The animations, especially the jumping ones, look so goofy and out of place. The woman character looks way less detailed than Yasuke, and the fighting has dumb difficulty. By that I mean, time this right or else you'll die. But I will show you when I attack with red indicators. Not assassinating in one hit is criminal and should never exist. Never cook again, bro. Go play Unity or the Exio trilogy.
That one actually hurt my throat. So, WANNAEATCOOKIES, let me break this down for you. First off, I never said anything about the difficulty, about whether the difficulty itself was good or not. I don't know why you like attacking me over the difficulty. Second, the animations. Once again, the animations themselves they need work, absolutely. But, I'm not jumping on the side of everybody else saying that the animations look absolutely terrible. What the hell are these animators doing? Like, what do they do? Like, they got some third grader come do it. Like, it's not that bad. It needs a bit of work, but it ain't that bad. And the third thing about the one hit hidden blade thing. So I said in my video that I wish we could bring back the one hit hidden blade with enemies. And I did specify in the video I was talking about bosses, and when I say bosses, I'm talking powerful enemies, bosses, mini bosses. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Those guys not getting one hit by the hidden blade, obviously, yeah, you can't do that. I'm talking like regular enemies, like the whole leveling system thing, the whole RPG leveling system thing. I'm not a big fan of it. I understand why they decided to do that, why they kind of had to do that, but I personally don't like it. I would like it if you could one-shot regular enemies with the hidden blade, no matter what level, like, or at least like expand the level, I guess, because I'm going off of memory. I think it was like if the person was like 5 levels above you, then it would like take them down all the way to like 1 sliver of health. And if you want to make the argument that, oh, in real life you could stab somebody and they won't die, they won't always die, you know, whatever, come on, it's a video game. I personally prefer regular guards to get one shot. I don't care what level they are, unless it's like obviously like you can make it to where like if it's an area that's like an ultra powerful area that's like 50 levels higher than you, obviously yeah, you can't one shot those guys. There's a problem. You can say all the way in armor or whatever. But I feel like I personally would like the one shot hidden blades so that way it feels more like Assassin's Creed, the Assassin's Creed of old. And that could be just me being grandpa, like it's not my Assassin's Creed. Back in my day, we could, like that kind of thing. Sure. I get that. I might, maybe I'm just being old fuddy-duddy grandpa, but I just wish that you could have one-shot assassinations with regular enemies. Even if you have to do something like, you know, tie it to some kind of like make it to where it's like you can only do it if they don't know, if they're like unaware or something. So like, you know, if they're looking for you, then if you try it, then it takes them down to 1 health. And then if they don't know, they're just completely oblivious, they're doing the regular rotations, you can get the one shot off. And then if they are aware of you, then if you get them, then it does like half health or something. You know, I'm not saying that has to be how they do it, but they could do something like that. Just whatever would work, I guess. But it just doesn't feel like, again, this could be me being grandpa, it just doesn't feel like the Assassin's Creed I used to love. Again, could be just me being grandpa, but that's just how I personally feel about it. I wish he had, and then, so like, I wish he had also gone into a bit more detail about what he meant when he said that oh God, what did he say? What did he say? The woman character looks way less detailed than Yasuke, and the fighting has done with. So him being, Yasuke being more detailed than her, I don't know if he's specifically saying her combat is less detailed than Yasuke, or if it's like the look. Now, if we're talking the look, I don't know if I 100% disagree with him. Yasuke, if we're talking like just the detail on like their faces and stuff, I'll admit, Naoe looks plain. She looks very plain. Like there's nothing really I don't know, eye-catching, and the horny niggas in the back, relax. I'm not talking about her cheeks ain't out, she's not voluptuous, that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about like nothing about her is like striking. Okay, so like old assassins always have had something about them that was like in their design, in their facial design, their body design, all of it. Like there was always something about them that like was either eye-catching or whatever. Nobody really looked plain except for Altair. I would think Altair was like very plain. There was nothing really to draw on with as far as his look. But you had like Ezio, who was, you know, he's a very handsome Italian man, and then, you know, you get the beard, like his outfits were like kind of flashy or cool, like you could change them, stuff like that. And then you had let's say like Adewale, who had like the lines on his eyes, which were like I'm assuming that they're like tribal markings. They were like tribal like marking burns, cuts in his eyes, because it wasn't like they were tattoos, they were actually like scars, but they were like in lines. Or you got like you know what I'm saying? Like Naoe is, as far as design goes, she is pretty plain looking. I'll give you that. She's very plain looking in the face. Now that does not mean I want them to make her look like a Marvel Rivals character, you know, maybe hike up her leggings a little bit, you know, get her butt crack out there, you know, give her bigger tatas. Like, we ain't got to do all that. That's not what I'm saying. And actually, I wouldn't want them to do that. I don't want them to do that. Leave her body design the way it is. But I would like a little bit more detail with her face, like something that's striking about her, because it's like she's not overly beautiful, she's not ugly, she's just like her assassin outfit is like, it's like a black, it's like it's not exactly the exact design, but it reminds me of like like Altair's outfit, the white one, where it was just plain white. That's like with her, it's like to me, like it's just plain black, and I love black, obviously, every single video I've got black on, so obviously I love black. But like, I just wish there was something more with her, and and they'll probably have more outfits for her, and she'll look really cool and stuff like that. But I'm just saying, from what we've seen right now, I will give it to the people that Naoe is plain looking. Yasuke has a lot more stuff going on with him, with his armor, his size, like in the anime, in the gameplay that we've seen, he's like taller than everybody. He's big, he's bulky, he's got like a big club thing.
Yeah, boy.
Or like he's imposing. Like, you know, that's Yasuke right there. But with Naoe, it's like you could just replace her with any other Japanese woman, and it's like, all right, yeah, whatever. She just looks like any other Japanese woman from a game. There's nothing unique about her. But again, like I said, with Yasuke, it's like, you know, that's Yasuke. Hell, even and part of it's also because of all the backlash about him. It is a big part of it. But any of the thumbnails on YouTube, the trailers, all of it, it's all like majority of the time they're showing Yasuke. So he's the most eye-catching, he's the most synonymous with Assassin's Creed Shadows, and Naoe is more, at least from what I've seen and how I feel, she's kind of more like in the background as far as promotion goes. So all that to say, I do actually agree with WANNAEATCOOKIES about that, if that's what he's talking about. He's talking about design-wise. But I think that's gonna be it. I don't think I missed anything that I wanted to talk about with this. I'm excited for the game. I really hope that with this new delay that they've got, they're gonna be able to polish it up more. And you know what? Speaking of the delay, hold on a second, because Ubisoft, like, they just cannot do right. Ubisoft is like that one girlfriend that you had in high school, or maybe if you're a girl, your boyfriend, who just like, they can't do right. Like a relationship for the most part is simple. All you gotta, just don't cheat, respect your partner. If you have conflict, talk to each other, communication. It's that simple. That's all you gotta do for the most part. And it's like, they just cannot get out of their own way. They just have to go talk to the cute guy down the street. They just have to hold in whatever it is that they're frustrated about. They just have to lie. Like, it's like that's how I feel with Ubisoft. It's like, can y'all just act right? Please, just act right. Because I saw that they delayed the game, and apparently they delayed the game to a date that's synonymous with something terrible happening in Japan. Like, what are y'all doing? Between the whole Yasuke, the dude who like wrote the book about Yasuke and then was like, he was referring to himself, he was citing himself and shit. And then you had the whole thing with the collector's edition where they were taking shit. Like what the fuck are y'all doing, Ubisoft? Like, come on, man. Like, oh boy, like, and I get it. Ubisoft is they are a, where are they? They're French, right? They're supposed to be the French, right? I can't remember. It's either French or Italian, one of the two. Anyway, don't y'all got somebody that can like do a quick Google search and see, okay, we've got a lot of like bad shit that we've done, that we fucked up a lot here. Can we just fact check real quick, make sure that if we're gonna delay this thing, it's not gonna, fall under anything crazy or anything like that. And I know like that maybe that's not something that somebody would think off the top of their head, but just with the amount of things that Ubisoft has like just screwed the pooch on. Can somebody just get on the computer for a minute before we do anything? Before we add something, before we talk to somebody, before we delay anything, can we just do a quick Google search, please? Because it's like, they can't, like, they're not helping themselves. Because then you get people that like, you've created such a negative optic about yourselves, Ubisoft. And that's not even just from this. Obviously, like, Ubisoft has just become like the new EA, like with the gaming company that gamers hate. It's just like not for the same reasons. Well, actually, kind of the same reasons in a way, because you know the microtransactions and the passes and all that stuff. It's just EA was just microtransactions. But anyway, they gotta get it together. They gotta get it together, man. But like I said, I'm excited for the game. I hope that it's going to be good. I'm not pre-ordering. I'm personally happy that they put all their games on their Ubisoft Plus thing. So I will not be spending $70 on the game. I'm gonna be hitting a little subscription thing for a month. I'll give them the little what is it, like $15 or something. I'll give them the little $15 so I can play the game. And if it's good, then maybe, you know, when it's on sale, then I'll buy it. So that way I can keep it. But nah, I did the same thing with Star Wars Outlaws and did not regret it. Didn't buy the game afterwards. But anyway, that's all I got to say about I guess everything. My thoughts about Assassin's Creed Shadows, my history, all that stuff. Get in the comments. Let me know what you think about Assassin's Creed Shadows. Do you hate Ubisoft and you hate this game, and do you want it to burn? Every dev should be fired. Or are you excited for the game, and do you not like the fact that, you know, people are feeling the way that they do about it? Do you feel like it's justified? Like all the things. I want to hear from everybody. And as you can see, look on my channel. I try my best to respond to literally everybody. I'm always in the comments responding to people. Speaking of that though, let me just throw this out here. Make sure if you're going to respond to me, I don't care if you want to say you are absolutely wrong, I don't know what the hell you're talking about, or you want to say I agree with what you're saying, make sure you do not use any trigger words, and not for me. I don't care. Like I'm if I'm gonna be talking about shit the way I talk about it, I'm gonna have to have a thick skin. I'm fine. It's not me. But the thing is that YouTube will flag your comments, and I don't always go into my the held thing. I always like forget to. So I like pop in there every once in a while to approve comments. It's annoying. It's one extra thing I have to do. Just leave certain words out of your comment, like the F word, or if you're going to say like you're stupid, don't say you're stupid. Say like throw something else in there and then say that part. You know what I'm saying? Like try to game the system a little bit here, because again, I hate having to go in there and approve comments. It's an extra thing. I like to just go to my comment section, hit the thing to see new comments or comments that have new replies, and just go down the list. All right. I don't want anybody getting flagged unless you're saying something absolutely crazy, which I haven't. I've only ever had one in my entire YouTube career in my entire thing. I've only ever had one person say anything crazy to me, and that person, I just like hid them off the channel. But everybody else that I've ever had to approve something, it was like it would be like sometimes they won't even be saying shit to me. They'll be saying, like in this case, like somebody said Ubisoft sucks and their shit, and it got flagged, like something like that. But anyway, like I said, get in the comments, let me know what you think about all of this, and I will see you guys in the next one. Y'all take care.